And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
I like to review new games. That's one of the main focuses of the Dice Tower. But we also like to take a look back at older games sometimes. And so I go through my collection on games that I like a lot. And here we have one, Fantasy Business. Now this is one of the games from the Blue Games line from Descartes. The Blue Games line was a series of games. And none of those games has really been, renowned. Dragon's Gold probably the most because that was reprinted later on by Stronghold and such. And I like Dragon's Gold a lot, but and that's probably the best of the lot. But Fantasy Business is a very interesting one. It's designed by Christopher Bollinger. He's the guy who did Dungeon Twister and has designed many other games. Archipelago is one of the newer ones he's designed, but this is one of his first ones. And this was a game because this game was just about lying right to someone else's face. Just straight up lying to their face. What am I talking about? Let me show you. So here's the components that come with the game. They have a card here that tells you how much each of these chips are worth money. This was back before, this was back when these kind of chips were used in games. I remember when I first saw this, I was like, that was pretty cool. Now it looks a little cheap, but hey, that's the way this game was. There's going to be 10 rounds over the course of the game, and the first thing you do at the beginning of each round is you'll turn over cards from this deck equal to the number of players. And then you will do a bidding phase as players are going to try to bid and win these cards. The price on the top of the card has to be the starting bid, but players can bid higher than that, and once you win a card, you cannot win another card. So once players have each won a card, hopefully, it's possible that you don't have any money to buy a card, but at least you'll get one on the first turn. Then players are going to take a price-fixing sheet. See, this game is all about you selling these items in a store. So players are going to be able to sell anything that they have in their store. So, for example, let's say on round 1, I have armor. I can sell that armor from 5 all the way up to double that price. So I can sell it from 5 to 10. And that's how much money I'm going to make. Now, that's no problem. If I'm the only person selling armor, I'm doing fantastic. But if there are 2 people selling armor, then I want to negotiate with them, because the way this game works is whoever sells the item for the lowest price gets a 2-coin bonus for selling it for that price, and whoever sells it for the highest price doesn't get anything at all. So if I say, hey, I'll sell my, let's work together. We can get a lot of money here. Let's both sell armor for 10. You say, sure, I'll sell my armor for 10, and then on my sheet, I write 6. And so I get 6 plus 2, I get 8, and you get nothing. Now, you don't actually sell the cards. What you're doing is that they're in your store, so that turn you sell those. And as time goes by, you're going to get more and more money, hopefully, because you'll get more cards. So once those are gone, we'll bring out some more cards. Now, there are gray cards in the game. These are special action cards. When these come out, you can bid on those too. The difference is they come out face down and you don't know what they are. Once they're revealed, like for example, this one here is trading. You can play this card at any time, and you can exchange one of your item cards for an item card that's owned by another player of your choice. Well, that's a pretty good card. Or racketeering. You insure another player's shop. That player pays you 6 crowns for your permission or protection. So there's all kinds of special cards in the game, and they change how it works. The game gets more and more ramped up as time goes by, because by the time that you get to the 10th turn, you're going to have 10 cards. Well, let's figure you buy 3 special cards along the way, so you have 7 cards. So you might have 3 armors, and you have to make deals with other people, but nothing is binding, nothing matters until you flip these over. At the end of the round 10, we simply look at how much money everybody has, and whoever has the most money is the winner. Fantasy Business is incredibly group dependent. And in that I mean, it's very easy, and I've seen it happen, not on every occasion, but it can devolve and everyone just writes the lowest price every time. You write the lowest price unless you're the only person who has it, and then you just automatically write the highest price. And that makes sense because the lowest price means you'll sell it. The highest price means, you'll get more money if you're the only person. Why not? Okay, fine. There's a variant in the rules in which you only get the +2 for lowest price if you are the solo lowest person. So here's how the game works. You have to form bonds of trust with people and say, look, if we both sell it for a higher price, we will make so much more. Sure, if you sell it only for the lower price, but if you do that, then I will sell for the lowest price for the rest of the game. So I'm going to give you one chance, but we have a chance to make a lot of money together by getting ahead of the other players. And so there's a lot of deal making, and this game can really bring out the teeth in deal making as you say, come on, are you, and you'll go back and forth. You said you were going to sell swords for 5 and you sold them for 4. You can betray people, but then if you betray someone, realize that that's probably it. You can go through the whole game without betraying anyone, without lying, just telling the straight up truth as you write down your prices. But you know, there might come an opportune moment. Like I said, this game is very unique and interesting, and it all depends on specific things. And then those special cards. The game is, there's that auction part of it, and that's interesting, I guess. But the game itself is really focused on that point where we say, listen, we're both selling swords. I'm going to sell them for 6. Are you going to sell them for 6? Are you sure you're going to sell them for 6? Do not lie to me now. And to me, that makes the game a lot of fun. But I can see very easily how there would be some people who aren't a fan of that sort of game. And I've definitely seen this game fall with some of the groups I've played it with because they had a hard time handling it. On the other hand, I played with some groups and it became hilariously fun back and forth time. And that's the reason I keep Fantasy Business today.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find the latest board game news at Dicetowernews.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Fun Again Games, the world's best game source. Fun Again Games has over 5,000 games available. Check them out at funagain.com.
Shut the door.
Do.